Hey Travis kiddos, let's go over all the enrichment work for the day. I have a little phonemic awareness activity, the enrichment reading and phonics work. You should be adding to your writing today for our essential writing work. So adding to your writing about how people reacted to the weather and wrapped in ice. I have the math subtraction without regrouping. I'm going to go over strategies for that. I have a little message about Nurses Day, School Nurses Day and International Nurses Day. And today's PE challenge. So today's PE challenge is to go outside and walk or run a whole mile. Can you do it? Can you run a mile without stopping? Can you walk a mile without stopping? See if you can do it. I'm going to show you a different PE challenge to do inside since I didn't show you Mondays. So I'm going to get to that one. Today's challenge is doing 20 squats with good form. So let's see if you can do that. Did you do it? Okay, now let's go over the other enrichment work for the day. So my phonemic awareness activity is segmentation, or segmenting out all the sounds in the word. So I'm going to say a word, and you are going to practice separating out all the sounds. We can chop it up like this, you can stretch it out like this, you can chop it down your arm, however you want to do to help you, or just do it. You go ahead and try that. So for example, if I said knob, you would segment out n, b. Okay? Knob, there are 3 sounds, n, b. Okay? So what about wrote? R, o, t. 3 sounds. So even though WR is making the R sound, it's just one sound. R, okay? R-oat. How about flaw? F-l-ah. So there we have one of those ah vowel teams that we worked on last week. And it's making one sound, ah. The F and L, full, while it's a blend, when we segment, we take them apart. F-l-ah. Okay? Knock. N-a-k. So 3 sounds. Booth. B-oo-th. 3 sounds. That TH goes together for the th sound. I know it's hard to say. But 3 sounds. B-oo-th. Okay. Choice. Lots of letters together there. Ch-oy-s. Ch-oy-s. 3 sounds. So that's 3 sounds that we segment. A lot more letters, right? CH makes ch. OI makes oi, CE makes s, but it's only 3 sounds. I'm going to see if you can do the rest on your own. House. How many sounds do you get? Wreck. How many sounds do you get? Snore. How many sounds? No. And through. Did you figure them all out? House, you should get 3 sounds. See if you can get them correct. Wreck should have 3 sounds. See if you got those correct. Snore should have 4 sounds. Just double checking, there are 4 sounds. No, 2, and through, 3. See if you can get all of those sounds. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I hope you got all of those sounds out of all those words. So your enrichment reading work for the day, you can reread Storm Watch. This time you could either do a 1-minute read again or just read it through well and fill out page 301, we're into the 300s now, based on cause and effect. Okay, we've worked on cause and effect before. It's in the Reading Writing Workshop book if you want to review that. So you're either going to write cause or effect for each of those items. You also have the decodable reader stories to read. You can listen to the interactive read aloud. You can reread the story Wrapped in Ice. You also have a literature anthology story about how weather can affect us. This story is called Rain School, and you're going to read about why this community has to rebuild their school every year. Okay? Hint, hint, it has to do with weather, and you might guess from the title, it might come from rain. So go ahead and read that. It's an interesting story. I really like it. It is a realistic fiction story, so it could happen, but it's not an account of someone's actual life, but it could happen. So go ahead and check that out on the Literature Anthology on Connect Ed on Launchpad. Our math for today, we are doing subtraction without regrouping, but today we are going to be subtracting 2-digit numbers from other 2-digit numbers. Okay, so this is page 173 in the math workbook. I'm going to show you a couple of problems here. And different ways, of course, using different strategies, as always, to solve. So let's try the first one, 95 minus 20. So here, I would do sticks and dots would be one way. So 95, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 9 sticks, 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are my 5 ones. Now I'm taking away 20 or 2 tens. So I'm going to cross out 1, 2. Doesn't matter which 2 you cross out. Just make it clear that you're crossing out 2. Remember, I don't erase them because I don't want to get confused with what I started with and what I took out. I want it to be clear. Okay, so then I can go count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. Oh, so 75 here is what I get when I do sticks and dots. If I wanted to separate out, 95 into tens and ones, you could do it in words like you saw in the textbook. You could do it with words, or you could draw number bonds. Okay, now I wouldn't separate out 20 because it's already 2 tens, and I know that there are no ones, so I'm not going to separate it into 20 and 0. But you could write that in words as well. So instead of 95, you could do 9 tens, 5 ones, and then take away 2 tens. So minus 2 tens. Okay, so it's essentially doing the same thing as we are going to do here vertically, but splitting it up. Now here, I'm actually going to start with the tens because I'm going to put them back together. Here, we're always going to start with the ones, but here I'm going to start with the tens. So I'm going to do 90 minus 20, so taking away my tens. So 90 minus 20. So 9 tens minus 2 tens. 9 minus 2 is going to give me 7 tens. Okay, so 90 minus 20 is 7 tens, or 70. Now I have 5 ones left over from 95, so I have to add that back into the 70, or 7 tens. Right here I can just bring it down, right, because those haven't been touched. So 70 plus 5 equals 75. Hey, got the same answer there. 7 tens, 5 ones is 75. My 7 tens, 5 ones is 75. My 95 minus 20 was 75. 5 minus 0, always starting with the ones. 5. 9 minus 2, 7. I end up with the same 75. Cool, huh? So you might be subtracting tens, just tens, or you might be subtracting a 2-digit number with tens and ones. I want to go over that one as well. We'll try to do it somewhat quickly so you're not here too long, but show you an example. So here's one that's in the book here. So 68 minus 32. Okay, so again, I'm going to use some of the same strategies. So 68, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tens, 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I need to take away 3 tens and 2 ones. So 3 tens, 1, 2, 3, and 2 ones. So I'm left with 1, 2, 3 tens. I could redraw this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. Okay, or I could write the number 36. Okay, if I split it up, you could do it. You could split it up this way into tens and ones. It requires a few more steps. You could write out the words as well and do 6 tens, 8 ones. And then take away 3 tens and 2 ones. You could do it that way as well. It's essentially the same thing here, right? So 60 minus 30. So 60 minus 30 equals, I'm going to erase this so it doesn't get too confusing. So 60 minus 30 equals 30. And 8 minus 2, remember we're subtracting this way, we don't go back that way. So 8 minus 2 equals 6. Now I put those two together. We separated out the tens and ones so we could focus on them to subtract. Then we put them back together. So it's like we're adding, but we're basically just recomposing the parts that we decomposed to subtract. Okay, so now 30 plus 6, I'm going to have to write it over here because I ran out of space at the bottom, equals 36. So we ended up with the same answer. Here, again, we're going to do vertical subtraction, always starting with the ones. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. We end up with 36. Same answer all 3 ways. Pretty cool, huh? So go ahead and work on that subtraction without regrouping. You can do that page 173 in the math workbook. We wish a happy Nurses Day to our school nurses. In honor of International Nurses Day yesterday and School Nurses Day today, we want to say a big thank you to all the nurses out there, especially our school nurses. Thank you, Nurse Anna at Travis. We love you. Thank you for everything you do. As always, happy learning.